Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. This particular presentation, brothers and sisters, we do not intend for it to be long, but we want to, brothers and sisters, bring this out for Hebrew edification. We ask you all to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to Danitepublications, and we ask you to check the description and to patronize brothers and sisters by supporting and buying the books that are listed in the description. The Hebrew teachers that I have had, some of them, Mori Hoshea, Mori Tibak, Adon Naharon, may they rest in peace. Some of the Hebrew teachers that I've had that are still among us, may the Most High continue to bless their life. Kohen Mikael, Ima Tamikia, Ima Miriam, and others, brothers and sisters. We hope and pray that everybody is well and will be better. We are going to start off with a song and then continue in particular matter. This is on the platforms of Mori Yeshaya Torah Lessons, Mori Yeshaya Hebrew Lessons, and the Facebook page, brothers and sisters, or the Facebook profile, Yeshaya Author Danite. Thank you for that, brothers and sisters.
Times got bad, I call on you to save my life. And deep in my heart, it was only you. You are my friend till the end. Most High. Save me now, forever. In many waters, I cried to thee, to set me free. Oh, yeah. And you heard my cry, throughout the sky. Deep in my heart, it was only you. You are my friend till the end. Most High, save me now, forever. This how I feel about you, my Lord. Ever and a day about you, my Lord. You are my God. You are my God. And I'll praise your name. I'll praise your name forever. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. 'Cause deep in my heart, it was only you.
Shalom, Israel. Let's get this started. After this one right here, get your pens and paper out, please. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. We hope and pray that everybody is well and will be better. We are going to, brothers and sisters, get into this particular presentation. Check the description. We ask you all to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And thank you to the brothers and sisters who have done so. We are going to, brothers and sisters, pull up the PowerPoint. And in this presentation, we're going to go over the masculine present tense. We'll have another presentation as soon as possible regarding the present tense of the female verbs, or how to say these verbs in the feminine. We're going to be dealing, until future notice, in the singular context, brothers and sisters. So again, we ask you all to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for that, brothers and sisters. Let us get into this. Thank you. Let us look at this, brothers and sisters. Glory to the Most High. This is brought to you from Danitepublications. We hope and pray that everyone is well and will be better. In this presentation, we will speak on 22 commonly used English verbs shown in Hebrew. This will be in the present tense and shown in the singular in both masculine and feminine, because there's going to be a part 2 for the feminine. We can be reached at 908-587-4841. Thank you for that, brothers and sisters. Be. That is to say, the verb to be or to exist. It, brothers and sisters, in Hebrew, is said in its root, brothers and sisters, as the word haya. So that literally means he was. The third person, which is he, in this case, the third person masculine being he, whatever, in this case, is the root in all verbs in dealing with the Hebrew. So what we want to do, brothers and sisters, with the timing allotted, is show this in as much real time as possible. So let's look at that, brothers and sisters, in this particular case, and look up the word here, hey, yod, hey, haya, which, brothers and sisters, we want to sit there and show for this, for edification and reference purposes. All right, the reason why our brother does it in this particular matter is, as pointed out, to show this for in as much real time as possible. I am open, brothers and sisters, to constructive criticism in this. Please help me be better in presentations. Okay, so let's continue in this. We have the word here, do. That is to say, to do or to make. All right, and the root of this is the word asa. All right, so let's look at this, brothers and sisters, and show it and how it is spelt, all right, in this particular matter, if we will, right? Sorry about that. We want to go here and look up, and the spelling is the ayin. Sorry about that. It is the ayin, the sin, and the hey. All right, so taking it from this particular point and going back here, if we will, in as much real time as possible, into this particular matter and what we see there. All right, if there's any questions or comments, please feel free to type it into the chat. All right, thank you for that. We have the word here, say, as in one is saying something. And the root of this, brothers and sisters, word here is the word amar. All right. So let us show this, brothers and sisters, as is the custom on this platform and as much real time as possible. All right, you have the aleph, the mem, and the resh. Okay, now let's remember it as the description states that Hebrew is shown, brothers and sisters, in this particular matter, right? In going from right to left. Okay, so now we have over here so far the word haya, right? And we have the word asa, and we have the word amal. Now that is, brothers and sisters, in its root. Now, as pointed out in the video, when we say conjugated, we want to show this in a present tense form of it. So just taking these three, right? And then going back here, if we will, brothers and sisters, and looking at it in this particular case, we have, all right, howe, if we will, right? And what we're seeing here in this particular matter, right? The word here, howe, masculine, present tense, meaning being or existing. Okay, if there's any questions or comments, please feel free to type it into the chat. We have this word here that we've gone over, asa. So let's show this in the masculine present tense, and let's see what we come with. We have here, right? Sorry about that, in that particular manner. So here we have ose, right? Meaning doing or making, okay? Now we have here, brothers and sisters, this word here, amar, meaning to do or to say. So if we were to show this, brothers and sisters, inside the present tense form, let us do so, right? And see what we come up with. We have here, brothers and sisters, we need to show this, if we will, right? And let's see what we can see. We have the word here, omer, meaning saying, or some may also say means intending. Okay, so now looking at this in as much real time as possible, we have here howe, ose, omer. All right. So again, if there's any questions or comments, please feel free to put so within the chat. Thank you for that, family. Now we have here the word halak, which means to go in route. Okay, so let us look at this, brothers and sisters, for say reference purposes. We have here the hey, the lamed, and the kaf sofi. All right. And looking at it in this particular matter, and this we see here is, again, the root of it. Any questions, please feel free to put it into the chat. Now, let's continue if we will, right? We have the word here, yada, in root meaning to know. Okay, in this particular matter. So let's look at this for reference purposes. You have the yod, you have the dalet, and you have, brothers and sisters, the ayin. Okay? Now, we want to show this in the root form of it, in its past tense, that is. Right? Now, the reason why you might see the screen being used as so is because, again, we want to show this in as much real time as possible, not with it already put up there and so forth and so on. Not that there's anything wrong with that. A brother has done that in the past, but we want to show the family how it is expounded upon in conjugation in present tense. All right, presently showing it in present tense as we go along, okay? And then we have here the word think in root, the word kashab, if you will, right? So let's look at this, if we will, family, right? We have here the word chet, or the letter chet, sorry, sheen, and bet. Now, let's look at this, brothers and sisters, in this case. Kashab in root means to think. So let's show it in this. And you'll be surprised, brothers and sisters, how easy Hebrew is. As the thumbnail on the YouTube shows, Hebrew is easy. It is not difficult, brothers and sisters. All right? So let's look at this, if we will. We have here halak. Now, to show this, if we will, in its present tense, right? We're going to go back here, if we will. All right? Thank you for the timing with that. And we're going to go Hey, Yod, Lamed, Kaf Sofi. All right? In this particular matter. So let's look at this, brothers and sisters, in this particular case. We have here the word whole lek, mean going or walking. Okay? So this is what we want to point out in that particular matter, if we will. We have here the word yada in roots. All right, and we want to show this in its present tense with the timing allotted. Thank you for that, family. Let's look at this, if we will, right? You have the yod, the waw, the dalet, and the ayin, okay, in this particular matter. So let's look and see here. We have the word yo, de, ah, which means knowing in the present tense matter in this particular case. Okay, so let us continue in this, if we will. We have here, brothers and sisters, the word kashab, right? And showing this in the present tense because we think in the present tense. So we want to show getting into the language on the publication, Danitepublications. All right. One of my Hebrew advisors, Prince Arishadai, expounded upon that we should teach the present tense, or it can be teach the present tense first because we think in the present tense. All right. So initially, all right. So looking at it in this particular case, we have this here, right? So let us look this up here. We have here Chosheb, which means thinking. Okay. Now, I do not teach Hebrew with the second letter bet without the dagesh pronounced as vet, as in a V. All right, because we want to get as biblical as possible in this particular case. All right, any questions or comments, please again feel free to type it into the chat. So let us look at this. We have the verb here see in root, all right, like S-E-E, all right, and that in root is said as the word ra'ah, okay, in this particular matter. So let us look at it in from the aspect of the present tense, right? Well, no, let's first get into the spelling of it. And it's yadoresh, sorry about that, the aleph and the hey, all right? In this particular case, ra'ah to see. We want to show this in as much real time as possible, right? And then let's go on to the next slide in this particular case. We have the verb to come, all right? In this particular case, said in root as the word ba, all right? So let us, brothers and sisters, look at it. In this case, you have, okay, the letter bet and aleph in this case here. So let us pull this back up and look at it from this particular point. And what can we glean from this matter? Ratzah. Let us now, brothers and sisters, look this up, if we will. In this case, we have the resh, we have the zadeh, and we have the hey. All right. Now, we're going to show the root of everything in the past because you have to go to the past to understand, say, one's root in something. All right. In this particular case, let us look at this. Ratzah. All right. So now, brothers and sisters, let us go back here, if we will. You have ra'ah, which means to see in root. Now, the word ra'ah literally means he saw. All right, as we were discussing earlier. The root of something is going back to its masculine third person. He, whatever the verb is. In this case, it means see. All right, so let's show this, if we will, brothers and sisters, in the present tense and how it works in this matter. All right. We have here the resh, the waw, the aleph, and the hey. All right. So now let's copy that. Bring the PowerPoint back up, if we will, right? And we have here ro'eh. All right, which means seeing. Okay. Again, if there's any questions or comments, please feel free to put it into the chat. Thank you for that, brothers and sisters. All right. Now we have, brothers and sisters, for reference purposes, right? Ba, which means en route to come. Now, the interesting part with this particular verb is that the present tense in this case is also ba, all right, in this particular matter. So let's look, even if we were to show that over here, right? Ba. So ba in one case would mean or can mean he came. Also can mean ba who, he is coming, or who ba, he is coming, whether you put the pronoun who before or after the verb. All right. One has the option, say, to do so in that particular case. Right. So these are things, brothers and sisters, that we care to point out for reference purposes. All right. Let's look at this. Aratzah. all right, which means once en route. So we want to show this, brothers and sisters, inside the present tense, if we will, right? We have it as oro, the resh, the wow. Let me say it like that. Dizade and the hey. All right. In this particular matter. Now, this word here, brothers and sisters, we see, right, as rose, which means wanting. All right. So what can we gather, brothers and sisters, in this? We have ra'a, the root, ro'e, the present tense. We have ba in this particular verb being the past tense and the present tense. And we have here oraza, meaning to want in the past tense, and rose, brothers and sisters, inside of the matter of the present tense, if we will. So let us look at this and continue on. All right, we have here the root natan, which means in root meaning to give. So let's look at this, if we will, right? And we want to pull this off or pull this into understanding. Natan. All right. Any questions or comments, please, again, feel free to type it into the chat. So let's look at this. This is a commonly used word, all right, in regards, say, with the Hebrew. So let's continue with this, or commonly used English verb that we want to know is Hebrew translation so we can get better in conversing in the language. All right, tell, sapir. So let's look this up in roots, all right, if we will. Thank you for that, family. Right, and we have samek, all right, pay, and resh, if we will, right? I'm going to have to show this in this particular case, all right, without the vowels, and just let you know what it is in this particular case. All right, thank you for that, family. Now, sapir means en route to tell, or he told is the literal translation of that. All right, and we want to expound upon that in a particular matter for a reason as we continue in this, right? We have here, then want to skip that, if we will, the word work, which in root is abad. All right, so let us, if we will, look this up in this particular case. You have the ayin, the bet, and the dalet. All right, now, want to show it in the verb form, not the noun form. All right, in this particular case, we have, looking at it in this particular matter, thank you for that. We have the word here, abad. And what can, brothers and sisters, we gather and glean from this? Remember, we want to show in this particular presentation the matter of it inside of the present tense. So in doing so, let us go back here in real time. Thank you for the timing, brothers and sisters. All right, we're going to take that part out, take that part out. And we're going to be dealing in this case with the word natan, and the present tense is said as notain. So you have the noon, the wow, the tau, and the noon sofit. All right. So here we see it as notain. All right. Notain, brothers and sisters, means gives or giving, if we will. All right. So now let's look. Saper. Now this one here doesn't follow the same pattern that we've been seeing. Now this is the root of it. You have the samek, the pay, and the resh. Now when you have this, brothers and sisters, particular verb, all right, inside the present tense, here is what we see in this particular matter, if we will, right? You will have to, for this one, add the prefix of the mem, then the samek, then the pay, then the resh. All right? In this particular matter, if we will. And I'm going to, brothers and sisters, as before, show it here and then take the vowel points off to explain it, because they only want to show it there, it seems, in a matter of a noun. But the spelling is the same. So this particular word right here, brothers and sisters, is said as misaper, which means telling. Okay? Now, let me explain. Saper in root means he told or to tell. Okay? When we conjugate the PL verb stem in the present tense, the mem takes the prefix of it. And this is why when you look at the other ones we've gone over, this is in the QUAL stem. So the noon, the tau, and the noon is still there. The noon, the tau, and the noon. And this one here, the samek, the pay, and the resh is still there. Samek, pay, and resh. That does not ever drop off any conjugation in any stem. However, because this is not the QUAL stem, but rather the PL stem, it takes, when conjugated in the present tense, the prefix of the letter mem. If there's any questions or comments, please feel free to type it into the chat. I can be reached at 908-587-4841. Thank you for that, brothers and sisters. Here we have, brothers and sisters, the word abad. All right? Abad meaning to work. Literally, the word abad means he worked. Okay? So let us, brothers and sisters, look at it like this. You have obeyed, brothers and sisters. All right? We're going to put that there for reference purposes. And we have here obeyed, which means works or working. Okay? So now, any questions or comments, please feel free to type it into the chat. This right here, to call, or he called, all right, in roots, is the word quara. So let's look at this, if we will, right? You have here the kuf, the resh, and the aleph. All right? Now, looking at it from this particular case, right, and pulling the PowerPoint back up, we have it as so, the kuf, the resh, and the aleph, if we will, right? Next, we have here the word sha'al, which means en route to ask, or sha'al also literally meaning that is, he asked. All right? So let's look at this, if we will. Right? And we have, if we will, Sheen, Aleph, and Lamed. Okay? And going over here and looking at that in that particular case. Now, let's go to the next one. Thank you. The word sam, which in root means to put or he put. All right. we want to sit there and show this, if we will, brothers and sisters, in this particular matter. You have here the seen and the mem sophie. All right. And wanting to show this in as much real time as possible, we're going to pull the PowerPoint back up. In that particular case, Psalm. All right. So let's look. We have here quara in root, meaning to call. All right. Spoke with the letters kuf, resh, and aleph. All right. So let's look at that. Now, in the present tense of that, we're going to see this, brothers and sisters, for reference purposes. All right. We have kuf, and we have the word kore in this manner. All right. Kore, meaning reading in this case. Also, brothers and sisters, means calling. So if you read something, you're calling something. In Hebrew has a similar understanding. All right. We have here again, the past tense of the word to ask in Hebrew is sha'al. So brothers and sisters, in this present tense, we want to show it, if we will, with the sheen, the waw, the aleph, and the lamed. All right. So here we see it as shoel. All right. Again, any questions or comments, please feel free to type it into the chat. Welcome to Danitepublications. Shoel, asking. Okay. So let us continue, brothers and sisters. We have the word here, psalm, which means to put or to place. Now, as the other one, ba, right? The present tense of this word is the same word. All right. So we have here, if we will, right? Psalm means putting or placing. Okay, so any questions or comments, please, again, feel free to type it into the chat, if we will, right? Now, let's look at this and continue on with the timing allotted. We have the verb here, shamar, which means to keep, all right, or to guard. Then we have, brothers and sisters, the verb yashab, right? If we will, in that particular case. Okay, I see there wasn't, sorry about that. No need to put that. That was already there. We want to show shamar and how it's spelt in the Hebrew aspect. We have here the sheen, the mem, and the resh, if we will, right? Shamar. Now, let's look, if we will. The present tense form of this, we want to show it in this particular case, right? But hold on, let's go over the other ones in the past tense here first and showing how it's spelled, and then go back, as is the pattern on this here. Thank you for that, family. We have here, brothers and sisters, right? The word yashab. All right. We want to show that in as much real time as possible. All right, that's the yod, the sheen, and the bet, if we will. And we have here, brothers and sisters, the word amad. All right, and showing it from this aspect, amad. All right. Looking at it in this particular case, let's continue on, if we will. We have this shamar. Okay. The present tense of this particular matter, if we will, right? We have it as spelt with the letter sheen, while, mem, resh. Okay? Shomer in this case. So let's look. We have this here. Right? Shomer meaning watching or guarding or keeping. Okay, so if there's again any questions or comments, please feel free to put it into the chat. I can be reached at the number 908-587-4841. Okay, let's continue, family. Thank you for the time. We have the verb here that we've gone over, yashab and root, which means to sit or to dwell. Okay, in its present tense, we want to show this as, if we will, as yoshab. In this particular case, right? Which means sitting or dwelling. Okay? Let us continue. Thank you for the timing with that. We have the word here, amad. Right? Sorry about that. Let us continue in this manner. In the present tense form of this, we're going to have the letters, right? Ayin, Waw, Mem, Dalit. All right, Omeid. In this particular case here, this means standing. Okay, let's continue with this. With, say, the timing allotted. We have here the word habeen. All right. Now, we want to show how this will be spelled in Hebrew. We have here, hey, bet, yod, nun sofit. All right. So now, habeen, in this case, is a root word meaning to understand. Okay. Let's continue with the timing allotted, if we will, family. We have here the word to decide. In root is the word karaf. So let us, brothers and sisters, look at this with the timing allotted. This is spelled with the letters ket, resh, and Zadeh Sophie. All right. So now, when you look this up, brothers and sisters, we attempt to, on Danitepublications and going over the Hebrew with as much real time as possible is the style, but we want to use as much biblical Hebrew as possible. What do I mean by that? We don't teach on this platform grammatria. No disrespect, not that it's bad. We just don't teach it here. We don't teach on this platform that words like gomer or gamor in root means okay. The word gamor in Hebrew means to finish or complete. All right. So just using that, say, as an example. So we have here the word karatz, in that case, meaning to decide. All right. Let's continue if we will. We have the word here, brothers and sisters, QUAL, which means to expect or to hope. So seeing how this would be spelt, you would have the kuf, the waw, and the hey in this particular case. All right. I'm going to have to show this as before. All right, because they're not showing it in that format in this. How it is spelt and then expound upon such. Thank you for the time, family. All right. Now, we want to expound upon, and I say this in no disrespect, that Hebrew with vowels is not Yiddish. This is expounded upon in a video on the platform Warrior Shia Hebrew Lessons. Subscribe to the channel called The Hebrew We Teach is Not Yiddish. All right. You can look up that video on the platform Warrior Shia Hebrew Lessons, also asking you to subscribe to the channel. So let's continue here. And we have here the word shama, which means to hear, right? So let's look at this if we will, right? We have the letters shin, mem, and ayin in this case here. So let's look it up from this particular matter. Shama in that case. So here we have, brothers and sisters, right? Hey being, meaning to understand, or he understood. This particular verb, when shown in the present tense, follows a different kind of pattern. And let's expound upon what we're talking about. We're going to have it with the mem, the bet, the yod, and the nun sofit. All right? If we will. Now, maybean, which is not what these vowels are saying, but we want to point out what we're talking about, right? Means understand, like I understand, he understands. All right, so understands, understanding. Now, when we say understanding, this is the verb. All right, this is not saying my understanding or his understanding. All right, this is saying he is understanding, I am understanding, or he understands. Okay, in this particular case. All right, now this is referred to as a hifil verb stem, but I didn't want to just in this presentation stay in a QUAL stem because I wanted to show 22 commonly English verbs translated to Hebrew. What we attempt to do on Danitepublications, you're giving honor to the Most High. We want to sit there and get the conversation up in Hebrew and I don't mean no disrespect in saying this, marginalized by just saying, oh, okay, we're going to just stay in the QUAL stem, just stay in the Nephal stem, just stay in this stem. When you want people to speak back and forth, you can't always do it through stem. That has been done on the platform Warrior Shia Hebrew Lessons. You might sit there and see the QUAL, the Nephal, the PL, the Pu'al, the Hifil, the Hofal, and the Hipael. All of that, say from Hebrew is Warrior Shia Hebrew Lessons, from lesson number 40 all the way to lesson number 53. When you subscribe to the channel, and if you see it, I'm asking you to subscribe to the channel. Not that you need to subscribe to it to see it, but I am asking you, brothers, sisters, elders, and so forth, to please subscribe to the channel. From the channel Moran Yeshaya Hebrew Lessons, from lesson number 40, essentially, all the way to lesson number 53, those stems are expounded upon. What we want to continue on is work on our communication one with another. All right. So in that case, we will not just be focusing on one stem in communication, but you'll using English verbs that are commonly used and translating them to Hebrew. It can be in any stem in Hebrew. So these are things we want to point out in that particular case. All right. So let's continue, if we will. All right. Haratzia, meaning en route to decide. Right. We have here, brothers and sisters. All right. We have ket, wow, reish, zade sofi, koretz. Okay. In this particular case. Which means decides, deciding, or decides, okay? Looking at it in that case. We have here the word, all right, QUAL, meaning to expect or to hope. Now, this one right here, brothers and sisters, when we show it conjugated in the present tense, we will see it as so in spelling. This is why we want to show things on this platform in as much real time as possible. You have it spelled as mem, kuf, wow, hey, all right? In this particular case, right? Thank you for that, family. You can ask your questions, leave your comments, brothers and sisters, inside of the chat, if we will. We have here mekwawe, which means hoping or expecting. All right, let's continue, brothers and sisters. And we have here the word shama, which means en route to hear. When you conjugate this in the present tense, brothers and sisters, we have it as spelled as sheen, wow, mem, shomea. All right. Now, show me which means hearing, understanding in certain cases. All right, in this particular matter. Now, listening and hearing in Hebraic thought is two different words. All right, so just want to point that out. We'll get to the word for listening as time goes on. But I want to point something out. Let's look at this, if we will, right? Sha'al, sho'el, o-e, sho'el. Now, when we get to another third or three-letter root, shama, when you conjugate that in the present tense, you see it as sho'me'ah. Because this word here ends in an ayin, when you conjugate it in the present tense, that ayin takes the ah sound with it. All right? So, brothers and sisters, this is done from Danitepublications. We hope and pray that everybody is well and will be better. We are going to have a review right now, if we will, right? We want to show this expanded, and in that case, we want to do the same thing here, if we will, right? Show it expanded, and with a different type font, if we will. Show it, brothers and sisters, expanded with, brothers and sisters, different type of font, if we will. So we're going to go through each of these as we close this particular matter out, if we will, right? Hoping and praying that everybody is well and will be better, right? So let's go. I want to show this too. Well, I'll get back to it. Thank you. When we get back to it, stay focused with one thing. All right. And this. Show it expanded and let's say a different type of font, if we will. We want to do this for each of these, brothers and sisters. All right. Expanded, different type of font. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm open to constructive criticism. To show something, say like this, in as much real time as possible, helps the brothers and sisters and the people who want to learn. I refuse to call brothers and sisters, and certainly I refuse to call elders students. I wouldn't sit there and say, "And my students." I wouldn't just say that. It's a pet peeve to me, not trying to be funny in this particular case. And yes, we are all students because we're all learning, but I'm not going to take out the time when you could be on any platform or any channel. And I feel to call you a student, brothers and sisters, when you give me the respect to even want to hear what a brother is saying. All right, call you brothers and sisters, elders, and that is the stance I have on that. So we have this here. Looking at it in this case here, we want to expand it. Right? So let's continue in this. We have the word work, abad. And let's continue in this. Quara. Then we have here the word sha'al, to ask. All right, we want to show it expanded and with a different font, if we will. Now we want to do this for each of these in as much real time as possible so we can sit there and see how it works for reference purposes. Shamar, to keep. All right. We have the word here, yashab. This particular case. These classes, brothers and sisters, is presented to you from Danitepublications, and it is, brothers and sisters, free of charge. All right. I generally don't ask for donations. I rather the family, extended or immediate, to sit there and buy the books that's inside the description. Hebrews Easy Volume 3, Hebrew for Couples, and so forth. All right. So let's look at this here, if we will. Looking at this one here, a being to understand. And show it, brothers and sisters, with a different font. And we have here the word karat. Brothers and sisters, you may see this inside of the scriptures itself, in this particular case, right? And showing that in that manner. We have this one here. And we're going to, brothers and sisters, yes, expound upon the things that we're looking at and what we're talking about. And then that will be the final part of this particular lesson. Now, this is a part 1 because this is just showing the masculine present tense. We want to go over the feminine present tense, singular, all right? In the next presentation concerning this, if we will. So let's look at this, if we will, right? Glory to the Most High. This is brought to you from Danitepublications. We hope and pray that everyone is well and will be better. In this presentation, we will speak on 22 commonly used English verbs shown in Hebrew. This will be in the present tense and shown in singular in both masculine and feminine. As we pointed out, feminine will be the part 2 of such. We can be reached at 908-587-4841. So, brothers and sisters, let's look at this, if we will, right, from the current slide. Haya, to be or to exist. Howe, being or existing. Asa, to do or to make. Ose, doing or making. Amor, to say or to intend. Omer, saying or intending. I want to sit there and show that this period was not supposed to be there. Sorry about that. All right. Open to constructive criticism. Let's continue. Halak, to go or to walk. Holek, going or walking. Yada, to know. Yode'ah, knowing. Think, kashab, thinking. Koshe. Ra'ah, to see. Ro'eh, seeing. Ba, to come. Ba, coming. Want, ratzah. Wanting, rotzeh. Natan, he gave, or the root meaning to give. Notain, gives or given. Sapir, to tell. Misapir, telling. Abad, to work. Obeyed, works or working. Quara, to call. Quore, reading or calling. Sorry about that. Sha'al, en route to ask. Sho'el, asking. Sam, to put. Sam, putting or placing. Shamar, en route to guard, to watch, to keep, to observe. Yashab, to sit. Conjugated in the present tense. Yosheb, meaning sitting or dwelling. Stand, amad. Omaid, standing. Habeen, he understood or understood. Present tense is maybe, meaning understands or understanding. Karatz, to decide. Koretz, deciding or decides. Expect, kwawe. Present tense, mekwawe, hoping or expecting. Shama, en route to hear. Shomeyah, hearing or understanding. So brothers and sisters, these are 22 commonly used nouns, masculine, singular. We're going to take out the time now, brothers and sisters, if we will, right? And go over this in as much real time as is the custom. All right, and we want to show ani, copy, bring this back up, if we will, right? Thank you for the time, family. Ani, I am. This pronoun can be used in all the verbs that were shown in the present tense. Okay? Now, we have, brothers and sisters, wanting to emphasize this, if we will, right? That would mean that ani can be ani howe, ani ose, ani omer, ani holek, ani yodea, ani kosheb, ani roe, ani ba, ani rotze, ani notain, ani misapir, ani obeyed, ani kore, ani shoel, ani sam, ani yosheb, ani omeid, ani mebin, ani koretz, ani shome'ah. Any questions or comments, please feel free to type it into the chat. Brothers and sisters, we hope and pray that everybody is well and will be better. Screenshots are welcome. So now if you're saying ani, as we pointed out here, means I or I am. Ani, howe, I am being. Ani, ose, I am making, I am doing. Ani, omer, I am saying. Ani, holek, I am going. So, brothers and sisters, stay tuned as we get into 22 commonly used English verbs shown in Hebrew, part 2 in this. Are there any questions or comments? I can be reached at the number 908-587-4841. Thank you for that, family, for reference purposes. you for the support, family. Have a good day. Shalom, brothers and sisters, and giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. We hope and pray that everybody is well and will be better. We intend to continue in these presentations. The brother's schedule has changed in regards with the work schedule. So this timing may be unusual for some, but it will be online for those who are interested. So let us continue in this. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day.